Hi guys. Hello. How are you? How are you? How are you? I had one of those days already. I did. But the day is still young and we got to keep moving on. So, let's keep moving on. But I wanted to, in between showings and all that, it's time for me to get some coffee. And unfortunately, I couldn't meet up with my partner, Diana, to do our cafecito y conversations. Plus, Diana is very busy with many closings today, and so let me not bother her. Okay? But we will start our live, and we will be talking about a lot of things that have to do with real estate. Before we start, let me show you something that I ordered that has me like super, 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 super happy. And yes, I'm super bougie. Look at this. A cover for my phone. If anybody knows me, you guys know that I like to personalize all my things, like everything. If I could personalize my laptop, like get a cover like this, I would get it. But I haven't found a place to do that. So if you know where I can get, like, the cover for my laptop, oh my God, you got to send me the link so I can do that. Okay. But I got the new cover for my phone and it came in. I already been using it. I already changed that ugly thing that I had before because I got a new phone, but I had an ugly cover and I love this one. But then, of course, I gotta go extra. You know me and extra. What? I got a wallet with my company logo. Why? Because a lot of times all I carry is this. I have another one that my daughter bought me and it's a Betty Boop one. And so, see, I carry this, I carry my phone, and that's all I carry. If I go to a restaurant or I go anywhere, you see this, you get curious. You end up asking me questions. I had one of these before. It was a different picture, and it actually had my phone number. I didn't get my phone number on here this time, but that will be my next one. So I love it. It has pockets for everything, okay? Has pockets for everything. And I love it. This is a conversation piece. And so everything that I have is customized. Everything that I have either has my face or my logo on it. And I prefer to have my things that way. You do you, I do me, and me, that's how I do it. And so it came in and I wanted to share it with you. The other thing now that I want to talk about is something that happened last year, but I wanted to give it time. One, because it was very aggravating to me, very upsetting, the whole transaction, the whole situation was unnecessary, to tell you the truth. But there are those that want to make something so simple very complicated when it doesn't need to be. It really doesn't need to be. And so I waited for a while until I moved on from that, and I wanted to share it with you because the other day I posted about, let me see if I find it so I can read it to you, because I don't want to say something that I didn't post. okay? But my little lady on Facebook, and it says, stop blaming your overpriced house not selling on your real estate agent. Okay? And I truly believe that because of the experiences that I have had and the experiences that I have heard from other agents and sellers themselves talking to me about it. In fact, I have one now that's talking about it with me. Hola, Judy. Hello. How are you? I am talking about selling your home today. I am talking about listing your home today. I am talking about sellers today. There will be other videos that I do talking about other stories that I have gone through. But this one, I really want to share because too many agents have been coming up to me and telling me, oh, I'm tired of getting blamed for this damn house not getting sold. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they start to explain to me what it is that has gone wrong. Many factors, but the one is the pricing. And I've gone through that in the sense that I will, before I meet you, I ask you for your address so that I can go into our systems and do comparables and find the value of your home. And I take that very serious. I must check. I don't know. I check a lot of stuff just to make sure that I'm coming to you with a good price, a market price, a market value, right? I don't want to cheat you. I don't want to cheat me. I don't want to cheat nobody. Okay? So I come to you prepared. That's why I've gotten the listings on my first interview. I don't go 2 and 3 times to an interview. I get the listing on the first interview every single time that I've been called. Yes, I work more with buyers, but Don Mariano, mi amor, ¿cómo está? Ay, mi Don Mariano. Me hizo el día, Don Mariano. Don Mariano is a client of mine. He bought a home from me. I think maybe 2 years in Salem. Hey, sis. Prepárate. That's all I'm gonna say. Carmen, prepárate. That's all I'm gonna say. So I go and I do my homework before I meet you, okay? Because when I meet you, I want to make sure that I have I know I forgot to turn it on. I'm sorry. Okay. Sometimes I don't even want it on. But here I am. So there are many tasks that I do before I get to you. Oh, no, it's not surprises, but it's a good one for you. You'll see. And so the homework that I do is to prepare me to come to you and have everything laid out the way it's supposed to be, right? And I come with the documents. I've always just been very confident about it. So when I meet you, I just have the listing agreement. I have everything ready. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time. Let's just sit down, discuss the value, and let's go. Let's sign, right? Show me your home. I take notes, and I do take notes. When I come to you, I have all these documents. I have it in a folder. Okay, this is a listing that I'm working on now. I'm not going to show you the name though. And I bring it like this. And all the papers that I need for you to sign are inside. I already got the listing, but I need her to sign, and she's away in business, so I got to wait till she comes back so she can sign up everything. She wants to sign it in person. She doesn't want to sign it electronically. Whatever is better for you, that's fine. It doesn't bother me. I'll go to you. I'll get the signature. Anyway, I come to you and I bring the folder with everything in it. Okay. But when I sit with you, although I have perhaps already on the phone have asked you a million questions and I have heard everything that you need to tell me, I may ask you a few more questions as I'm looking at your home because something may intrigue me and I want to know the answer to it. So if I'm going to tell you about the story about last year that I went through. I went to a home out in Vineland and I was looking around and I started asking the owner as she was giving me, her husband wasn't there, so it was just her. As she was giving me the tour of her home, I started asking her questions of things that kind of didn't quite look right. And I was asking her, does the house have septic? It was a very large house. Does the house have well? You're near a creek. Does it overflow? Do you get water in your basement? I was asking many questions as we were walking through the home because I needed to know these things. I saw an addition. I asked her about the addition. Did you get a permit for that addition? Was that addition? Did you buy the house with that addition? Like, I wanted to know. And this individual told me that everything was great, that everything was perfect, that there was nothing wrong with anything in her house, in their house, that nothing needed to be fixed, that she and her husband had a permit for these additions and that they were done by contractors. So I started asking this person to please provide me the contracts from these contractors and to please provide me a copy of the permits for these additions. Oh, don't worry about it, Beatriz. Everything's going to be fine. I'll get you the paperwork. I'll find it. Hi, Connie. How are you? I'll find it and I'll supply it to you. And I said, no, really. Hi, Jolly. I really need those paperworks because I want to verify all the information that you're giving me. The lady got offended. You calling me a liar? No, I'm not calling you a liar. I'm not calling your husband a liar. I'm not calling anybody a liar. We need to verify these things. Hello, Hector, how are you? We need to verify these things when we're listing your home. Because when the buyer comes, they're going to be asking these questions. So why not be prepared? I, for one, do not like surprises on a residence or on a commercial or on anything that I'm listing. I don't like surprises. I do not want to be told by an inspector the things that you should have been told me in the beginning when I came to you. When I asked you the 10 million questions that I asked you, you should have told me from the beginning. Okay? This individual was just so concerned about the pricing. I got to get my money back. Chill. Calm your bridges. Let's get through these things that are also very important to the pricing and to make sure that you are able to sell your home. So instead of getting so uptight and so offended by my question, can we just work together? Because you're about to hire an expert. You're not hiring a fly-by-night. Sorry, ma'am. And let me tell you, if you get offended by this video, then you must be some kind of an individual. Exactly. Hector, when you're selling your house, tell me now. Dímelo todo. Tell me everything. Everything. I don't care. Listen, you got a hidden ghost in your attic? I want to know about that hidden ghost. I don't want to walk up the attic and I see it. Hey, hola, I'm here. No. Tell me. I want to know. You know why? When an issue pops up that you get a potential buyer and this potential buyer has a buyer's agent and the buyer's agent starts asking me questions, I want to know the answers so that I can avoid any situations that may occur. This lady lied about her septic. It needed a whole new septic. And her son had gotten a permit that same year, supposedly to fix the septic problem, and never fixed it because he ran out of money. Okay? What? Why? Then if you don't have the money to fix the permit, then the septic, why did you go get a permit from the city? Now you have an open permit that needs to be closed. So who's going to close it? Who's going to close it? You or the buyer? But yet, she wanted to sell her home. They wanted to sell their home as is. And they were telling me from the beginning, I don't care what they find, but I ain't going to fix nothing. Okay. No hay problema. You don't got the money to fix nothing? I got it. I understand. Let's work with that. But por favor, tell me the truth. I ask you all those questions because I go by this. So let me tell you, when in the package that I bring you homework. That homework is called the Seller's Property Condition Disclosure Statement. On here, you, not me. No, ma'am. No, sir. I'm not going to fill this out for you. You're going to tell me about your house. And I need you to be sincere. All this hiding stuff and I don't want to tell nobody nothing. They can find out for themselves. Screw them. That's their problem. I'm going to dump this on them. That is why the National Association of Realtors has implemented all this craziness and continues to implement craziness on realtors. Because we go by what you tell us, but then we're wrong. And again, if there's some realtors on here that look at this video and don't agree with me, that's fine. And that say that I'm a troublemaker or whatever, I've heard all of that. All of it. But I'm not a troublemaker. I like honesty. I like working with people. I love working with people. You guys know that. I love meeting new people. I love working with people. I love it. It is my passion. It is my passion to help you achieve what you want to achieve. But again, you got to be honest. You got to be honest. On here, it will ask you the age of the house. It will ask you, do you have a deed? Do you have a survey? It will ask you the age of the roof, the age of the furnace, the age of the HVAC. It will ask you all these things. It will ask you about termites. Have you ever had termites? Do you have a contract with someone that comes out and provides a service for those termites? Okay? If they don't have the money, they can reduce the cost for the septic and your buyer can go with a FHA or conventional renovation loan that will allow contractor to do the work before they move in. Hector. There's the solution right there. Or one of the solutions right there. One of them. Just one of them. Okay? There's solutions to all the problems. That's what I'm trying to say, Hector, right? There's solutions to all the problems. Pero you have to be honest with me. Because all of this is going to cost someone. Either you, the seller, or them, the buyer. But it's going to cost somebody something. And it could be $1,000 or it could be a septic that's $40,000 because that's what the estimate of that septic at that time was. And then we have plumbing. And I'm going to get to that septic because that didn't end there. Espérate. You talk about your fireplaces, okay? You talk about the electrical panel and how old it is and the type of electricity you have. And are you public or are you private? Meaning, do you have a septic or are you connected to the sewer, to the public sewer? Do you have your well water on your land, on your property? Or do you have public water? Sorry, my computer is dinging over here with all these messages. Emails. So they want to know about the environmental hazards. Everything is deed. They want to know, are you aware of any violations of federal, state, or local laws or regulations relating to this property? They want to know all sorts of stuff about your property. It ain't my property. I can't fill this out. Only you can, the owner. And I can assume to know because I'm looking and I'm seeing and I'm asking and I listen and I take notes. But it doesn't mean that I can provide the answers, the accurate answers that this paper, this very important document is asking. And again, all these answers that you give me here help me to put you in the right bracket so that you can sell your home. Don't tell me you renovated your whole kitchen, but you got, some stuff in there that's just not valuable. It's not valuable. You installing new faucets and this and that, but it's cheap stuff. But you want top dollar. You want like over the top, like big money. Okay? So I'm in this individual's house. Oh, and again, and you have to then sign it in the back, okay? Water intrusions, flood, all that stuff. And you got to sign it. Me, as I'm talking, I'm doing my own. This is for me. And I look at this and I want to ask all these questions. Okay? I want to know if you have a bankruptcy, if you have, if you're in a foreclosure, okay? Which I'm going to get to that too. I want to know all these things. Did you take out a refinance, a HELOC, all of that? I want to know it. Are you going to get divorced? Like, are you in between a divorce? Are you about to separate? Are you about to fight for this house? Child support? I'm not trying to be, a nosy body. Your life is not my business, right? My personal business, right? But it is, in a sense, that I need to know all these things because I need to know how to market your house, what the whole transaction is going to be looking like. What type of buyers can I bring you? Can it be an FHA? Does it have to be a conventional? Or does it have to be all cash? Because there's too much shady mateys up in this house. Okay? I need to know all that. I need to determine that from the get-go before I even go and make it public. I need to determine that. It's not a fly-by-night. I'm not a fly-by-night. I'm telling y'all, the people that work with me, The lenders, the title company, they're not fly-by-nights. I'm not a fly-by-night. I want to do things right so that I can get the maximum for you. And not only the maximum, but the best goal for you. The best outcome for you. Okay? So lying to me or hiding something, or, no le voy a decir a Beatriz, I'm not going to tell her, because then she's going to go and tell everybody. I'm sorry. I'm like done with that stuff, man. Y'all killing me a little bit over here. Slowly dying. I asked this couple to tell me the truth about their septic, to tell me about the creek next to their house, to tell me about that farm over there. Is that how far your land goes? I need to know all of that, right? I asked them about any additions in their house, and are there permits. I asked them so many questions. Shoot, I was getting bored with all my questions. But I was looking around and just, it didn't sit right for some reason. I don't know. The house was beautiful. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. The house was beautiful, and they did renovations in it. Were they renovations that were completed renovations? No. Like at the sliding door in the back, it was like half dining room, half living room, and they had a fireplace, and they had installed a French doors, right? And they brought the tile to the door, but then there's no finishing. Isn't water coming in through there? Like, don't you see that? And I'm like, I know they see that. Wait, what? And I asked them, I said, are you going to finish that? And they were like, finish what? It's already finished. I'm thinking, that ain't finished. Come on, guys. That's not finished. I go into the kitchen, and the tiles were beautiful, right? But then, the borders weren't done. The edging in between one room to the next, that you put like some kind of divider there to join the two floors. Where's that at? I kept tripping on one of the floors, and I was like, I'm gonna bust my butt here. And listen, I did not feel like falling on no ceramic tiles. Okay, so I was nervous. And I kept asking, are you going to finish any of this? And they were like, finish what? Everything's finished. The whole house is renovated. I heard a noise, and I said, is that the air conditioner? Because it was summertime. And they said, no, air conditioner doesn't have any problems. So no, that's not the air conditioner. I kept thinking, there's like a rattle. What is that rattle? I said, well, do you have the heat on? She said, no. The condenser, the compressor was shot. One of their kids was hot and forgot that the condenser does not work, went to turn on the air conditioner while I was there. And it was like, Hector, I'm sorry. And I'm asking her, what is that? And she's like, no, same. It's like she didn't even want to acknowledge the noise. But you know how I found out about the air conditioner? Being shot from a buyer that I took there. And the buyer was like, don't you hear that? And I was like, yeah. And I'm trying to play it off. I am, because it was already ticking me off, right? Now the buyer's making it obvious, right? You can't, I can't. Hector, I wish I was making it up, man. That house was so frustrating to me. It was, oh my God. And then again, these people just kept insisting that I price this house at $600,000. And the market value for that was just not $600,000. And I showed them, oh my God, I was proving it to them. I was like, the comps and this and that house. And they kept talking to me about some other house that was like in another neighborhood. It might as well have been in another country. Okay? Somewhere out there. And I'm like, yeah, but the house doesn't even look like your house, and it's not the same size, and this, and they were like, yeah, but this and that, and they were trying to prove it to me that is the price because that house sold for that, and they were stuck on that house. And I'm thinking, pero esta gente está loca. They need a Prozac or something. And I'm trying, and and at the end, you know what I always do? I always tell them, okay, we'll list it at that price, and we'll see what the market says. We'll just try it your way. And I'm very, hey, that's Trish. Trish is another lender. Oh, all my lenders, I love it. They're all here. I love it. And so listen, you want to prove me wrong? No problem. Let's do it your way. First of all, you're going to be wasting lots of time. And then I'm going to be wasting time. I don't like wasting time, but hey, to prove you wrong, the house sat. The house sat and sat some more. No buyers came through. And they start telling me, hey, Beatriz, are you promoting our house? Have you talked to anybody about our house? Is it public yet? I said, it's been public. It's on all real estate applications. Type in your address, you'll find it. Well, what's going on? Oh, baby. Hector, gracias. Thank you for coming on here. But it was something that I really want to tell people, okay? So thank you for sharing that information that you shared about the loans. That was like A++. Thank you so much. So I'm like flabbergasted, and I'm thinking they should see that nothing's happening. No. They then start to blame me. That I was not marketing it, that I was not showing it enough, that I was not doing enough, lady, I asked you, can I host an open house? And you said, I don't want strangers in my house. I asked you why, and you said to me, my son has many games that are valuable, and I don't want anybody stealing them. I explained that I am at the open house, and I walk with the buyers, and I stay with the buyers, and I watch the buyers, And they have to come with their agents, and their agents have to look and watch them. And you still said no to the open house. Then you asked me, well, can you do it from outside? I said, outside where? Well, can you just, put a table outside and talk to the people outside without bringing them in my house? That's not an open house. What? No. I said, okay, then can I do private showings? Well, she wanted the MLS showing time, okay? But she wanted I would look, get the notification from the buyer's agent, hey, we're interested in seeing your listing at this time, this day. I would have to then send her a text. Then she would respond to me when she or her husband was available, that they would wake up because they worked at night, and then during the day they would sleep. And she would tell me. But she did not want to get out of the house, and neither did he. Those are the sellers that want to remain in the house while you're going through it. And I understand that you feel, I have valuables in here and I don't want people touching and, my artwork or whatever it is that you're defending or protecting, right? I get all that because I would probably be the same way. But there's always things that you could put in place to make sure that your items are protected at all times. And I work with you to do that. Well, these sellers wanted to be at every single showing. So if they were tired, they would tell me to decline the appointment. I don't know how many appointments I declined. It was so many appointments, and I had to decline. And one agent said, well, good luck in selling that house, because every time I request a new appointment, you decline it. I said, no, I'm not declining it. I have to go back to my sellers and ask them when they're available because they want to be present at the showing. Well, this buyer's agent went off on me like if I did something. I got to follow the direction of my client, just like you have to follow the direction of your client. And my client did not want anyone at their house if they weren't there. And I said, well, how about if I come and I show them around? No, that was not the problem. The problem was they wanted to be there and awake when the buyers came through. No problem. I got a few showings that were approved and I was happy. But those buyers saw all the things that I saw and noticed and asked the questions that I asked. And one buyer was even slicker. One buyer actually went and did their homework, went to the township, to the municipality, and asked for any open permits for certain things in the house before they put the offer in. This person said, I accept the house as is. As is. One of the buyers. And he didn't come with an agent, so he wanted me to represent him. No problem. I've done it a million times. No problems, right? We put in the cash offer and we're accepting the house as is, but we did not know anything about the septic, anything that was wrong with the house. We didn't know about the permit, nothing. Why? Because the seller didn't want to tell me any of that. You know how we found out? When we went to apply for the certificate of occupancy, because, you know, they were telling me that the house was just great. Perfect. The township started telling us all the problems. All of them. And there were more than what I thought. I almost had a heart attack. I was standing with my buyer and I was like trying to, you know, because sometimes my face talks too much. And my buyer kept looking at me to see if I would react, and I wasn't reacting. I ain't stupid and dumb at the same time. So I played the whole thing off. And I listened very carefully. So when we went to put the offer, of course, my buyer said, oh, right? Our faces talk, Trish. My buyer said, okay, I'm not giving them, because at that time we went from 6, we lowered it to 5, and then we went to 4, I think 490 or 460, something like that. And my buyer said, I'll give them 420. And that's it. I'll give them 420. Okay. Let me go talk to them. At first, they accepted. And then the inspector comes to the house. Township inspector comes to the house. There were more things that he added to the list of things that were wrong with the house. My buyer called me because I thought I was the only one that spoke to the inspector, because I was the one that was doing the application for my buyer. No, the inspector went to his office and called my buyer directly and told them the whole list of other things that he found and that he knew. I was livid. I was pissed off. Not at my buyers, but at my sellers. Because they lied to me. They lied to me. They hid all this stuff. Because when I confronted them, they said they knew. But they didn't see that it was important to tell me. So that cash buyer walked away. Never responded to me ever again. To this day, I send them a postcard, or I'll text them how you doing or something, like, you know, just to keep up. They read it. I see them read it. They read it. They don't respond. The house never sold. It went into foreclosure. It went into a short sale. Their credit was damaged. The seller's credit was damaged. By then I didn't have the listing anymore because the listing expired and I just let it go. I tried and tried to help them, and they refused to do what I was telling them to do. They refused to listen to any of my advice. The title company even tried to talk to them and give them advice. I had a lender come and talk to them and tell them things that they could do. They were so stuck on just getting this price. And I said, if you continue to ignore what I'm telling you, this is going to end up very wrong for you. And I am trying to help you. I'm not here to hurt you. I'm trying to help you. No. The listing expired, and the house went for foreclosure, which, by the way, already was in foreclosure, and they didn't even tell me that. I found out because I had title look into the house, because it was really nagging me. Something about it was not right. The things that they were talking to me, it didn't feel warm and fuzzy. And when I don't feel warm and fuzzy, I start looking up shit, and yeah. And it was bad. It was really bad. And I felt bad for them, because that goes on your credit, and your credit is messed up, is damaged. But now you're losing your home, and where are you going? You got no money to go to another place. You see, I've been homeless before. I've shared this story with you before. I've been homeless before. Not because I didn't have money, because of some other situation that happened to me and my children. But I don't want anybody to be homeless. I don't want anybody to go through losing their home for any reason. Unless you're selling it and we're selling it and we sold it, I don't want you losing your home. Dear sellers, stop blaming your real estate agent. Stop blaming the lender because they can't find a solution to the buyer that's trying to buy your house, that put an offer in. Stop. I have a lady right now that's doing the same thing. But she works in New York and lives most of the time in New York, but does not want anyone in her home unless she's there. And she wants top dollar for a house that needs work outside. When you want top dollar, you got to produce a top dollar house. That's how I see it. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm not a good salesperson. I don't know. I don't know. Trish, what do you think? Whatever they want to call me, right? I know I do one damn good job. Because if not, I wouldn't have been one of the top producers last year. I wouldn't have made the type of sales that I did last year. I've worked my butt off for 4 years, 4.5 years. This will be my 5th year. And I'm proud of myself, because I have helped so many families to sell and buy, and a few investors too. I know what I'm doing. Right. You can only get what is worth market value. Because let me tell you something. You may think it's worth $600,000. Okay? But if the appraiser at the end comes in and says, this house is only $550, bueno, that's another situation that we got to face, right? Because now, if this buyer is a FHA, this appraisal report can be stuck to your house forever. And how are you going to sell this house? Dear sellers, I love you with all my heart. I love getting your listings. But you have to listen. not just hear, listen to the advice, the guidance, the expertise, the professionalism that I bring to you so that we can get the best outcome. I don't want to hear about some house that's not even nowhere near you, that doesn't even compare to your house. I don't want to hear this new listing that this other listing that I'm trying to get. This lady refuses to offer anything to the buyer's agent. She said, I'm not paying them nothing. That's on the buyer. And I'm not paying this, and I'm not doing that, and I'm not doing repairs, and I'm not doing that. And everything was, I'm not doing. That's on them. And I'm like, wow. And then she says, well, and I have another property. This one doesn't have a mortgage, but this other property that I have has a mortgage. So I need the money from this to pay for that. Okay? Listen, dear sellers, I love you with all my heart. I want to work with you. I want to get the best outcome for you. But stop blaming lenders, realtors, title company, and everyone around you for your house not selling, because it's overpriced and has a million things wrong. Be honest with us so that we can find you solutions. Understood? Now, dear sellers and dear buyers, I'm not mean. I'm just telling you the truth. Okay? So you got to call me and hire me so I can help you the right way with my expertise. 856-676-4046. Trish, thank you.